Okay, allegedly, I am live. I think. So they claim. So Illbleed, hello everyone, I'm Punchy, and this is Illbleed for the Sega Dreamcast. The basic premise of this game is that you are a teenager going to an evil amusement park called Illbleed, because your friends went and didn't come back, and you will get $100 million if you survive the park of Illbleed, but no one has survived yet. That's all you need to know. Going in, I hope you're ready for one of the most thoroughly incomprehensible video games ever. I'm just going to jump in and I'm going to try my best to explain what the hell is going on. Okay, so get a load of this interface. Way, look at all this nonsense. Okay, so first I'm going to buy some items from the store straight away. This store sells ramen as well as medical tape, both of which are useful for my purposes. I mostly want medical tape for the time being. Bleeding is a very big issue in this game, so I want to mitigate that as much as possible. Bleeding is the thing that is most likely to kill you in the game of Illbleed. We don't actually currently have a blood gauge because you haven't been hit yet, but don't worry about it. Heart rate, bottom right, if that gets too high, you die. Otherwise, don't worry about it. Bottom left, brain meter. We use that to tag traps because the entire game is about tagging traps. Also, I'm playing the Japanese version. It's not faster. I just happen to have the Japanese version. Get off my lawn. Okay, so this game is about finding traps. This first trap is unavoidable because this game sucks. This one lands on your head and increases your heart rate by 5. Otherwise, it does nothing, despite the huge blood spurt. So we need to find the horror monitor in every single stage. Yes, it has heartbeats the entire time. The entire time. So we find the horror monitor over here. You can tell because all our senses spike, and now we can detect traps when our senses spike. Like our sight sense is spiking, that means there's a trap on this door. I know this because this is always here. If we didn't tag the trap using the first-person view, the trap would hurt us. And that's bad, because we actually don't have very much health in this game, because we do the whole run without getting any upgrades, because this game actually has very light RPG elements that are completely glossed over during the run. Right, the trap generation in this game is completely random, which means I have to kind of identify which pattern I'm on first. It's not the light bulb, so it's not pattern A. It might be pattern B or C. What have I got here? Pattern B. What's pattern B again? First 2 doors. I wrote this all down. It's a pile of nonsense, dude. Bank the hard left after this. Bank the hard left. Because the trap is on the right. There we go. Get around this. So I'm avoiding traps by taking the tightest lines possible. I do not trust this window. I know this is a problem on pattern B. I will not allow it. Oh, I got through anyway. I guess I'm godlike or something. Okay. Trigger that. Trigger that. Good, good, good. I tagged it, so I didn't get hurt by it, although that actually doesn't do any damage, I think. I think it's only a heart rate thing. Cool. Does this one have the shower? Oh, it has the... I got hit by blood. No problem. Yeah, this is on an actual Dreamcast. Also, that hand, if that hits us, that will do big damage. Would prefer not to, so I'll tag it. Otherwise, the only trap I got hit by there is just one that increases my heart rate, so that's no problem. We're out of the first part. Good start on pattern B. So I need to get this bat here. The bat is detected by our 6th sense. The 6th sense detects items, but also enemy encounters. There is no way of telling the difference. If you approach a 6th sense hotspot, you might be rewarded with a healing item. You may also get into a fight with something that will try and kill you. Good luck! Have fun! Speaking of enemy encounters, this hallway is littered with enemy encounters that I'm going to completely avoid by banking the hardest left possible. They're all in the center. You can just about skirt by their range of activation if you just hug this wall like a maniac. And then I'll be coming up on the kitchen. How do I do the kitchen? Standard pattern. Pattern B. Okay, but like, how do I know where all the traps are, right? It's because I went through the painstaking effort of individually routing out where all of them were on each of the 3 pattern types that each stage has. The trap generation in this game is random. It ain't that random. By the way, there's an entire set-course Japanese meal inside this plate. I'm going to pick it up for safety for no... And also, it looks funny. I mapped out every trap in this game. I know which pattern I'm on precisely. I'm on pattern B, named completely arbitrarily. I just know. I identified it straight away. There's a fight there. There's probably a trap in the saw blades, or the fan blades rather. That is not a saw. I need this testimonial. So the current happening right now is we're proceeding through the burned ruins of a hotel that was owned by one Mr. Banbelow, whose son was killed in a hotel fire. And his son was very good at baseball, so we're going to play some baseball with his face. Cool. It'll be a hoot, I assure you. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dodge this enemy's activation range by taking the hard left. Smashing, smashing. tag that door. Does Pattern B even have this door? No it doesn't. Oh well, no problem. Some traps have animations even if you successfully tag them. Most don't, so it saves time to be on the ball with your trap tagging. And also because it saves you damage and what have you. And you also don't get startled and Eriko doesn't fall over and what have you. I need this trophy. Thank you very much. Going to tag this enemy encounter. I will tag this enemy. Thank you. So tagging enemy encounters, though you can't skip the fight this way, it does mean I don't get, like, knocked down when I start in fear, and so I save some heart rate that way. And also I gain some, like, window of opportunity to escape a fight by mashing B over this helipad, which grants me a narrow escape as I escape the fight via helicopter. A perfectly normal way to exit combat. There is no such thing as a not narrow escape in this game, by the way. That's just how it works. And if you're thinking, is it faster to always run away from encounters? Yup. Always. You don't want to fight anything in this game. It takes way too long. Your reward for fighting is that you gain back some adrenaline, like the brain gauge in the bottom left. I don't care about that, though, because my brain usage is perfect. I have such a large brain that I do not require such a thing. See, it saves the heart rate, gain some early opportunity, bait that guy into striking, escape, circle him. What a large bait. He doesn't know nothing. He's getting so juked right now. That guy's getting destroyed. Pattern B requires absolutely no effort on the final hallway. You can just hug the hard left the entire time. If this were a different pattern, this might require me to actually think about what I'm doing, but it doesn't, because it doesn't. There is an enemy. That's not the enemy encounter. Okay, but I'm just gonna run into it, I guess. It would not let me tag it, so whatever, I'm gonna hold the L. That's what happens if you can't, tag an enemy encounter ahead of time. You fall on the ground for a little bit, which grants the enemies a window of opportunity to kick you in the head. And it can also deal damage. Like, you see that little red blip above the health bar? That's bleeding. That does not need to get very high before it starts becoming a massive problem. Once it reaches a certain point, which is not very far, it starts to increase as you run, which will gradually start to do health damage to you, and if your blood gauge reaches maximum, you die. That is why I bought safety medical bandages in case I got hit by anything, because, like, one hit can put it at, like, a quarter. This game is, I don't think this game's, like, especially difficult if you know how, but Illbleed's greatest failing as a video game is that it teaches you very poorly how to play it. Anyway, here's the boss of this stage. He's currently invincible, so we're gonna bait him around here so we can escape. We actually have to escape this fight, it's mandatory. I have to dodge around his flamethrower there. Hey mate, over here pal, on your head. There you go. Peace, span below. No, the point where the triangle is out on the bleed bar is the point where it starts to drain your health. The point where running makes it worse is like a tiny bit up. Like 2 more hits would probably do it. Alright, so now we're going to run through a maze where Bambalo is chasing us, and we'll start an encounter if he manages to touch us. I would like to avoid this if possible, but it is not always possible because sometimes his spawns are incredibly asinine. First dodge, that's good. It is rough. You are... How much heart rate is death? 255. This almost never happens. Eriko's heart rate stat is incredibly good. There is no reason to use any other character other than her. She has an iron heart. Okay, so far so good. We've made it to the mid-stage bathroom, which is just here for no obvious reason. We saw our friend being dragged off, Kevin. Kevin is the only friend we're going to save in this run because it is impossible not to. Please, someone help me figure out how to not save Kevin. Not because it would be faster, I just don't like him. The 6th sense is also your 4th sense, yes. In the true ending category of this game, you have to intentionally let all your friends die, and the only way to kill Kevin on purpose is to wait 25 minutes in real time. Real time. Damn it! That could be a problem.
Hey, hurry up!
Alright, ooh, sick moves. Oh! Oh! Alright, the camera probably just took him. Whenever you get into a fight, the camera, like, has a bit of a moment, which can make my life more difficult than it needs to be. Alright, I think I went the right way. If I didn't, I'm about to be very upset with myself. Alright, I made it to the boss fight. So first, we're going to fight Bambalo now with the baseball bat. And the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to stick to his side, do the 3-hit combo, keep sticking to his side. He'll whiff his flamethrower. Hopefully, if I position myself just so, he'll keep whiffing over and over again while I keep running to his side. Conk him one on the bonkers. I can barely see what the hell I'm doing because this is a fantastic camera angle for a boss fight. Am I about to do this hitless? I'm so good at this game. Perfect! Anyway, here's Kevin. Like I said, if you want him to die, you'd need to waste 25 minutes real time. Like, no joke. And I'm okay to save him for the time being, because if Eriko dies, that would be catastrophic if that happened, but Kevin would at least act as kind of a buffer to possibly salvage a run that really goes south. I'm already playing it safe, though. Anyway, here's the second boss fight. There are two. Nope. Can't touch me, I'm the gingerbread man. Whoops. Anyway, I gotta do the worst platforming in the universe with Giant Bambalo trying to punch me in the head, and he does a lot of damage. The first stage of this game's actually really hard. I think that's why people get turned off it so much, and I don't blame them. You're thinking, wow, this looks awkward. It is. Eriko, the direction Eriko dodges in as well is not something I have a great deal of control over, so if she dodges off the platforms, well, that's just how Illbleed do. No. Also, the dodge is like 100% invuln. Like 100% invuln. That went really well. We're gonna kill the park worker controlling the giant robot Bambalo. We don't like him. Took his head clean off, but it's okay, he was a robot. Now I'm going to steal his ID card. Don't forget to take the ID card. Don't forget the ID card. I have to come all the way back again. And now I'm going to jump all the way to the other side. Which, by the way, the path split at some point in the jumping section. God help you, if you go the wrong way, you will have to backtrack. While that thing is trying to kill you, you will probably die. You can't, like, use health items in the middle of combat either. So if he gets a good hit on you, a couple of good hits on you, you can slowly bleed to death very easily. But that is the first stage clear. The way this game is framed is as like multiple movie theaters with no real connection between each other. This was the first attraction, the home run of death. It occurs to me I'm actually going to have to tell you the names of these things because I'm playing the Japanese version. Fortunately, all the voice acting remains in delicious English. Yes, this game's platforming is the butts. It's very bad. The second stage has more of it. Goal! We're gonna use our keycard, which, by the way, every single time I pull up the menu like this, the newspaper like coming in, the paper, that animation can be sped up if you hold down the right trigger on the Dreamcast.
Clear! Yeah!
Your prize is money. Anyway, now we have more money than we're ever going to use in the entire game. So we can buy infinite items, pretty much, every single stage. This is the key to Illbleed as a casual, by the way. Every time you clear a stage, buy infinite items, because items do not carry over between stages, because hell, video games. This is mostly for safety. In a normal, like, PB attempt, I would never buy items on the first two stages, because I'm that... Oh, what a big brain lad, that confident, but you just don't need them. But if you get hit, like, twice in either stage, you're probably going to die. So I need... You need the safety, man. You need the safety. Alright, so Revenge of the Queen Worm. Kevin is now available as a playable character. Ideally, we're never going to use him. He sucks. Eriko is just the best character in the game, bar none. She has purple hair. What more do you want? But also... so first, again, we're gonna recollect the horror monitor at the beginning of the stage, and then it will be stolen by a monkey in a cutscene. Forget about it. Everything I just told you, by the way, about searching for traps and how the sensors correspond to them, whatever, disregard it completely. It is completely irrelevant for the next 20 minutes. This stage has no traps. None. So the game introduces a core mechanic and then immediately discards it for the next level. So we need to navigate through the worm-infested road sequence place. What is happening here, by the way? Alright, I'm going to avoid an annoying encounter with the monkeys by banking the hard left here. There is normally fights with monkeys in here, and they're very annoying. The monkeys are the worst enemy. But if you bank the hard left there, you can avoid them simply. There will be a worm on my left. You will not see it because I'm keeping it off camera, so it can't attack me because the camera has influence over such things. A lot of this game is trying to avoid invisible triggers and fights and stuff, so like, if I look like I'm moving like I'm drunk, that is probably purposeful. A lot of it relies on specific camera positioning, a lot of it relies on knowing the exact ranges of fairly opaque invisible hitboxes. Some of it's just slightly random sometimes. So far so good though. We haven't even seen a worm yet. Oh, hello, we've seen a worm. The camera really wanted a piece of that too. No thank you, pal. What's he doing? What is he doing, actually? Okay, well, he didn't attack me, so I'm not concerned. Later, pal. In an ideal world, I will actually get into 0 fights in the first part of this stage, which is successful. I think I'm doing well at this so far. I'm going to skip another monkey fight here by banking the hard right around this way. Yeah, you got to bank left for the first one and hard right for the second. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what this is supposed to be. Like, is this a road? Are you expected to be able to drive on this? What's going on here? I know it's a Tremors joke, but like... Huh. I'm going to try and bait this guy left so I can run right around him. He spawned early, and that's... You word. PG-13 word! I didn't hit me, whatever. No problem, I suppose. I'm doing my best. Okay, no problem though. I got past all that. I'm drinking water, my voice is a bit screwy today. Pray for me. Alright, so now I have to do some minor platforming here. If I touch the ground, like the soil bit at any point, I will start a fight with the boss of the level, which is a ginormous worm. The end goal of the stage is to kill that giant worm. The giant worm is named Rachel. It's the baby of, it's the baby of what looks like a ghost version of Bruce Forsyth. Do Americans understand that joke? Hey, I skipped the cutscene. I wonder if I'll have time to play the post-death cutscene. My estimate's a bit tighter than I would like. I'm again avoiding fights by going around. I think I'll have time. I'm gonna do it. I really want you to, I really want you guys to see Ghost Bruce Forsyth now. Okay, anyway, we need a specific weapon in order to kill Rachel, and we would find the request to kill Rachel in here, but in order to reach the fuel that we need for the weapon, we have to knock down these billboards using this wrench, or spanner, as the Japanese text says. They couldn't make up their minds with that one. Here's a flamethrower. We need that. That will be our weapon to kill the boss with. Yeah, no, it is a Tremors joke. Like, straight up, that's the joke. This movie is a loving pastiche parody type deal of a lot of horror movies. And sometimes not horror movies, actually. Once again, saving time by using right trigger to speed up the menu opening. Do that every single time and you will save boatloads of time over the whole game. Sticking left here to avoid the enemy encounter. No enemy encounters over the whole game. Excellent. Over the whole stage, rather. So yeah, the brain gauge, completely useless for this level, does not come up. There are no traps in this stage. La-di-da. Okay, time for platforming, and platforming that actually has a consequence for failing it, too. I can't really convey how awkward this is if you haven't tried it, but the jump has like a full, like, 1.5 seconds worth of delay on it. That was a brave camera angle to take that up. Alright, clean. Okay, I made it to the fuel. Now I'm gonna fuel up my flamethrower, which will immediately start the boss fight. Here's Rachel. Rachel. Oh, I got damage in there. Excellent. Where is she? Rachel? Okay, so what I want to do is I want to bait her into an attacking animation. I want to bait her into an attacking animation. I want to bait her into an attacking animation. Would you like to play the game? Do I need to be here right now? Whatever, that'll do. Attacking animation. No, that is not an attacking animation. That's still not an attacking animation. I guess that is an attack, but it's not the one I want. Get over here. There's the attacking animation. Right, that's a counter hit. Counter hits are what you want in this. The game we got fighting game stuff up in this. You need to get the counter hits. Rude. Boss enemies are at least reasonably fair in that they just have a health bar, which means they die when their health bar is depleted. Regular enemies are a lot more annoying and will only die if you get a counter hit. Only. But getting a counter hit is also ideal for this boss fight because it gives me more time to burn off Rachel's rather large health bar. Right, so I got 2 counter hits there. Rachel! There. Oh, still got the counter hit though. Good, good, good. I'll get there eventually. Also, the sound effects are relative to the camera, so you may notice that as the fight goes further back on the screen, the sound effects become less audible. If I brought this fight closer to the front, you might actually be able to hear the worm. But the camera, you see, is back here, so you cannot hear anything. Rachel, play the game. Not that playing the game. Oh. What are you doing? Where are you going? What? You're like out of bounds. I think I got the rest of the health bar. Yeah, no, okay, Rachel's dead. That took ages. Okay, actually, hold this.
Rachel!
Bruce Forsyth, I'm telling you!
You appear to be okay. Oh, that's a relief. At last, we can be together forever. Let's go back to hell. Hey, you, young one!
Rolf Harris!
Thank you. I'll never forget your kindness.
Rolf Harris is funnier, actually. I'll take that. Okay, that's that scene. Yeah, they went back to hell. We've set them free. Hide the pain, Harold. Anyway, we got the fuel we need for the getaway car. That's the stage. That's stage 2 completed. Awesome. I'm really glad I got to show that cutscene. I might go overestimate because it's not that long. But I made my estimate probably too tight. Alas. I mean, I've improved in this game quite a lot, actually, over the last couple of days of practice. Anyway, now I actually need items for real, because I'm on health item, adrenaline. This stage is actually difficult, so I need items like unironically for this. I wasn't buying that. Those items are not for safety. Those are just. That's just what I gotta get them. Alright, so stage 3, Wood Puppets. In the English version, the stage title is spelled with 1 P too many, so it's Wood Puppets. Uh-huh. Okay, Wood Puppets is filled with many traps, all of which do a lot of damage because the stage has a lot of sharp objects in it. For the first part of this, at least, if we cut a line straight through the middle here, we should be able to avoid taking any damage from any traps. There are some. Don't know where they are. I need to scroll my notes down, actually, otherwise I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Oh. That's pattern... That's pattern C. Okay.
Cool.
Open first-person mode, Eriko. I beg of you. Alright.
Cool.
So we're back to tagging traps. I have identified what pattern I'm on. At the start of a stage, there is what I call an identifying trap. And the first chainsaw there identifies that I am on pattern C. I need the axe. Pattern C, pattern C, pattern C. Who's got the pattern?
Cool.
The scare here is the ceiling, a completely unmarked bit of the ceiling because hell is everything. Pattern C is...
Cool.
Okay, it's the windows on pattern C. These are like normally semi-random when you play, but I have memorized, well I've written down the way the traps generate, so...
Cool.
I know all!
Cool. Cool.
Cool! Are we done yet? Anyway, we see our friend Randy, who's been turned into a wooden mannequin. Second window.
Cool.
Yeah, the main reason I bought a Japanese copy was not because it's faster or because Need, like, made it so. It's because it's cheaper. And not by much. This still cost me about $70. It's an expensive game, yeah? Even though there are basically no version differences to speak of. I still tag that because even though it's avoidable, if you miss it, you get hit for a big amount of damage. I'm gonna take this guy's wood. Phrasing, Punchy, good lord. Now I'm going to kill him. Okay, I got the stun. That's counter hit. We want that. Rude. Oh, there's the stun. Is he dead? Yes! See, enemies only die in this game. Regular enemies only die on counter hit. He died because I got the counter hit. If I didn't get the counter hit, he would take, like, forever. Fights in this game can last indefinitely if they want to. Which I assure you is not frustrating in the slightest. There are like 6 cutscenes stacked on top of each other here and they all are meaningless. Go away. Tag those two, bank the hard left. I think I'm gonna get into an unavoidable fight here because I'm on pattern C. Yeah, that's not there on other patterns. Rubbish. The worst pattern. Anyway, these enemies fight by T-posing. And they're very good at it. No, they're standing on my helicopter. Right, okay, bye. And now we're coming up on the only regional difference in the Japanese version of the game. The only one. The solution to this puzzle is different in the English release because it's a word joke in Japanese. It's goro awase. Hito koroshi. It's a phrase in Japanese that means to kill a person, but it sounds like numbers in Japanese because that's... yeah. That got changed in the English version to like 8422, I think. That's it. That's the version difference. You can all go home now. Anyway, we're a wood puppet now.
Cool.
We can't jump, and we also don't move very quickly anymore. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. We can T-pose now when we get into a fight. By the way, this trap is really stupid and I hate it. It's the bend itself. It's not anything on the bend, it's the bend itself.
Cool.
Stupid. Why are we a wood puppet? Because we jumped into a wood puppet machine. Keep up, keep up! Come on! This is Illbleed! When we get into a fight, and we will get into a fight, we can now T-pose the enemies to death. where the woodcutter song is? I don't think it is. No. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't remember. Sorry. Okay, now we're part of the Woodman hunting game. There are now going to be woodcutters pursuing us through a maze, and they get points if they kill us. But we can kill them, too. However, we're going to not kill them. At least, ideally. Because ideally, we don't want to get into any fights at all. How do we do that when the woodcutters are substantially faster than us? In a casual playthrough, you'd have to get through, like 7 or 8 fights of these dudes in order to make it to the other end, which would knacker you, because combat in this game is a disaster. It's really difficult to avoid taking damage during the combat in this game. A no damage run gives me the heebie-jeebies. So what we're going to do is when we see a guy get close to us, we're going to pull up the map. We're going to ask for directions. The woodcutters, however bloodthirsty they are, cannot refuse a request for asking directions. Thus they will freeze in their tracks to give an honest assessment of where you need to go. Every single time you do this. I hope I didn't despawn the guy. No, I didn't. So we also want to track the dude behind us ever so slightly, but not such that he actually catches up with us and starts a fight. Because if there's a guy trailing us, it despawns woodcutters directly in front of you. I don't think I have. I can't tell by audio anymore. No, he's still there. Is he? I'm trying to listen really hard. Please do not do that. No, make it to the hallway. They'll stop pursuing me if I get just slightly down this hallway. There we go. Okay, got it. I got scared by the horror game, dude. I got scared by the horror game speedrun. Oh, dude, my reactions are really good though. I caught that one, tight. I avoided the fight. I hate that. I'm familiar with the way the spawning works, so I was kind of expecting that, but it's still, if you're like a split second too late. Anyway, I picked up a wood-eating bug with my wood hands. I'm now going to use the wood-eating bug on this wood tree to get rid of the tree. The bugs don't eat you. Why are we a doll now? Why not? It's Illbleed. Don't ask questions. You're asking questions. I will accept no further questions. Anyway, I handled that first bit relatively well anyway. I got away with no encounters, even though the last guy scared the crap out of me, but that's fine. Because I didn't get into a fight. I handled the scenario well. I find it really difficult to explain how to, manipulate the spawns such that you don't get into a fight, because it's something I just kind of feel from having done this way too many times. Because the spawns are not random. Enemies are in set places, but it can only spawn one at a time. So if you drag one behind you, future ones won't spawn. This guy, I opened the map early because otherwise he'll block the entire passageway. So I repeatedly ask for directions, and he'll freeze in place, allowing me to coast around his outside. What's bad about this? I think this game is actually unironically good, but is insanely user-unfriendly. I do think this game is good, and I recommend you try it, but with the caveat that you read the manual and read it well. This is not a kind video game. It is in fact very rude. He's behind me, which is potentially either good or catastrophic, depending on how close he gets. Can I get the despawn in the... You are pushing... Okay, I got the despawn in this hallway, though, because I'm tracking the dude behind me. This game is mostly, in Big Bad and has strong Kusoge energy because it's really user-unfriendly. It's really user-unfriendly. I'm making it look, breezy because I'm good at it. This game is rude. It's very rude. Time to T-pose things to death. We made it to the goal, but the woodcutters cheat. They lie in wait at the goal, trying to get us at the finish line. Thus, I'm now going to extend my T-posing power. And they're going to, regardless of that, completely bop me in the skull anyway. Get! Die! I need counter hit. I need counter hit. I'm not getting counter hit, dude. I'm getting counter hit. Dude! Yeah, okay, that being said, that's also an illustrative example of why this game is in Big Bad Game-a-thon. The combat. It's like that. I could have avoided that, I'm not sure. Okay. He's just fallen on the floor, I guess. My kingdom for a counter hit. Thank you, there we go. It's taken a while. Okay, the camera had a moment there. There is always a trap here. It's a rude one, but you can tell the floor is like a little bit discolored, I guess. I'm also bleeding to death at the moment. I'll get to that. I always forget that the T-pose as an attack exists because it's not mapped to the melee attack button, it's mapped to the firearm button. If I use my melee attack button, I do a kick. I would love to demonstrate that, but I think I need to actually play, like, a bit seriously because I might die. Jesus. Okay, hold that. Jesus, I'm like, okay. That was a little scary there. I kind of made that more risky for myself because I'm an idiot, but still, I totally nearly died to that. That would have been bad. This is the kind of game where dying just kicks you to the main menu, by the way. If I die during this run, I'm gonna go cry. Like, this is. I got nothing else. I mean, I have backup saves, but I prefer not to. Anyway, we're normal again. We found a machine. It makes you normal. Now we're going to fight a ginormous tree with a face. We're going to do this by parking my bum in this corner, dodging through the roots. Go for the 3 hit. And if they do the acid, you go for the 2 hit instead. Roots, 3 hit. Acid, 2 hits. It's important to let the dodge go off all the way when dodging these attacks because you can actually attack cancel dodges in this game, and if you do it too early, you'll probably get hit, which will be less than spectacular. He's not dead! Die! I thought he was gonna die. Okay, perfect. Perfect fight, did not get hit. And that's the boss of Wood Puppets. You have this final hallway, which is a great opportunity for you to bleed to death before you can limp to the goal. It's very rude. This and the first stage do this, and I'm not sure why. Other stages do not. Yeah! We now have lots of money. We had lots of money before, but now we have, like, lots of money. So we're going to buy many items. Because this next stage is the hardest one in the game. I just bought 9. That was probably excessive, but whatever. Because we are going for the Killer Department Store. Killer Department Store is long and very difficult. If you have not worked out how to play this game quite well by this point, this stage will probably wall you really hard. What does the porn mag do? It increases your heart rate. There are reasons why you might want to do that. Because if your heart rate reaches 0, you die. So if you're bleeding to death and your heart rate is about to drop to 0, if you look at porn, it'll prevent you from dying. What? It's true. Don't look at me like that. Right, okay, what pattern am I on? I need this head. It's not pattern B, because pattern B is the trolley seed. Which means it's either pattern A or pattern C. Middle or right? Middle or right? It's middle, that's pattern A, baby! Okay, tongue it back.
Cool.
The yellow one is correct. Good so far, good so far. What's the... Yeah, the game also starts doing this thing where it starts overlapping scares very near each other at this point, which I think is rude and annoying. Try and suss out which one is the scare when there are two overlapping each other almost directly.
Cool.
Groovy. That's not really what I had in mind.
Cool.
Pink jelly on the wall, pink jelly in the middle, and ceiling orange. Okay, that's not what I tagged. Okay, let's try again. Tag the orange. Thank you. Exactitude is important here. So traps in this level has the gimmick where it pays you the amount of money that you normally get from completing the stage. It pays you it up front, and traps will take it away if you get hit, as well as do damage to you, which is just another fun thing. Granted, I have more money than I know what to do with at this point in the game. Normally you'd be spending it on, like, upgrades for your characters and stuff, because again, this game has light RPG elements. I have entirely ignored that, and will continue to entirely ignore that.
Cool.
Give me the natter. Machete, I think, in English. I said that really Englishly as well. Nata.
Cool.
Whatever. I will not increase brain juice. Every day, they log on and tell me to increase brain juice. Right, so we're going to give this cake the severed head. That makes it happy, and it will now come with us. Come with us, Hell Cake. That is literally Hell Cake. It even says that in Japanese. The Hell Cake is a full heal. I didn't need to pick that up, I just thought it would be nice if Hell Cake could come with us for this run. Alright, so I need the meat. I need the meat. I need 3 meat for this, because I'm going to gamble. I'm going to gamble with the meat, you see. No, can we not do that? Why does the cake need a head? It requests a special topping, so the topping is the head. You can give it a strawberry, and it will be like, no, this is wrong, this is bad. You stupid fool. It's funnier than that, I swear. I'm not funny, that's why I didn't make Illbleed.
Cool.
Cool. Okay, so there are cockroaches here. They want meat. Ideally, I'll give them 1 meat and they leave. In practice, they almost never actually do. Okay, well, No, okay, he didn't like it. If I don't give him enough meat, he hits us. Because I only give them 1 meat each and then decline to give them any future meat. Because otherwise it's random how much meat they want, and I can't predict that amount of randomness, but I need at least 1 meat remaining going into this, and only 1 meat, because any meat left over in your inventory when you reach this point becomes enemies for you to fight, so you want to enter in here with only 1 piece of meat. You got that? You can hold up to 9 of the various types of meat, so in theory that fight maxes out at having 27 enemies in it, and that is just... I've tried doing that once, don't. Right, my notes dub this room the smelly hallway. The onion.
Cool.
Is this pile a trap? Pretty sure it is. Haha.
Cool.
Does this one have pineapple in it or not? I'm gonna get hit by this on purpose because I think it's funny. Pineapple! Whoa! Rude. Don't get tricked by pineapples, people. Alright, this is the worst fight in the game by a country mile. Like, this is serious time, but like, I hate this fight. I hate it. I hate it beyond comprehension. So, remember how I said enemies don't die unless it's counter hit? Three of them at the same time, and you need a counter hit on all three of them to kill them. I hate it here. That's counter hit. That's one. It didn't actually kill him, but getting the counter hits is nice anyway. That's counter hit. Okay. That's counter hit. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay. One down, one down. I'm stuck on one of the other worm's corpses. That's counter hit, that's counter hit. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, two down, two down. Counter hit, counter hit. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, they're all dead. That's dynamite. That's really good. God, that fight's so hard, and I didn't even get hit. Like, I think I took one hit. I don't even need to heal. Holy moly, that's really good. that's the best fight I've ever had on that. My PB has a terrible one of those. Yo, I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it. Open the door. No, okay, fix your notes, pal. Now we're in Kids World. We're full of toys. Yeah, it's making up for the Woodman sequence. That was so good though. That is the hardest fight in the game. That is the hardest fight in the game, and I just made it look really easy. I assure you, it is not. It is incredibly annoying, actually. They can cover for each other. They can just not give you attacks to counter hit. They can be such a pain. That plane is a trap.
Cool.
My notes for this just say TV's ball cork. Thank you, notes. Because I have like the pattern traps, the trap patterns, words. I have them written down because I have extremely not memorized all three possibilities, like to the letter for every single stage in this game. I'd be very impressed if anyone actually could do that.
Cool.
TVs, ball, and then cork. Remember this character. We'll be seeing him again later. Was that a Sega Master System? No, it's the Sega Dreamcast.
Cool.
Sometimes they're traps that try and eat you. I'm amazed Sega okayed this game. I do not trust this trap. I know it's to the left and I still don't trust it. Yep, sexy doll as well. Okay, now we're in Mary's Maze. Oh boy. So this is much like the very first stage where I was dodging Bambalo in the spawns of Mary, the knife-wielding child. They're fixed to some extent, but her pattern of movement is not. I need to find 4 keys through the stage, and then escape out the back door. Whether or not I can do this without Mary stabbing me in the shins a bunch is a matter of some debate. She's hard left. Boy! Alright. Okay, so coming around this corner, I'm gonna once again, I'm gonna do map trick to freeze her in place. She'll be on like the hard shoulder or something. Or she'll be over there. Whatever. See you later. The map trick helps to make this more consistent. If you really want, you can just like YOLO around the corner and hope she's not gonna stand in your way, but haha, don't count on it. Don't count on it, Chief. Don't want to get owned. I recommend you try a little harder. There we go. One map is no problem. Asking for directions works on pretty much every type of moving enemy in the game. It is a universal technique. And speeding up the map, like, appearance and going away by holding down right trigger is also valid. That counts as a menu. So use that to save some time as well. Alright, No hit Mary. That's fandabby-dozy. I'm gonna eat one of my salads, though, because I have a boss fight coming up. Actually, no, I'm gonna eat one of my Chinese noodles. I forgot, I'm playing the Japanese version of this game. The Japanese version of this game has ramen instead of salad. It's like, that's the only other difference between the versions, actually, is the food items are different. In the American version, the full heal is a steak dinner. In the Japanese version, it is a kaiseki ryori. It's a type of Japanese set meal. Okay, so this is where Mary tries to play hide-and-seek with you. Fortunately, this is deterministic, based on the trap pattern you got, so I know she's in the keyboard. Now I have to do this fight. This fight can go very pear-shaped if I can't land the third hit and get the hard knockdown, which I did, and the game just didn't register properly because I'm playing Illbleed. There we go, that's the hard knockdown I request and require. Okay, again, I hit the... Game's trolling! Okay, no, actually, no, that went pretty well. Ideally, you wanna land the third hit and get the hard knockdown and just loop the hard knockdown over and over again. Now, sometimes you are not so lucky, though. I wasn't so lucky as to land the hard knockdown, but... that fight went pretty well regardless. This has actually been a very good stage. I'm not doing too badly with this right now. This stage is one of the hardest ones in the game. I'm actually very pleased with myself. Please clap. Please golf clap. How do you golf clap via text, Punchy? Right, let's play jump rope. I cannot articulate enough how bad this is. I really can't. The jumping in this game, this is delayed by like a full 2 seconds every time. I just mashed this one. And it goes slower on jump 10. The jumping on that is so delayed. It's so bad. I was doing that for like 40 minutes on a casual playthrough. I've really gotten the cadence of that down nowadays, but that on a casual playthrough drove me nuts. Anyway, we're fighting the Cashman Spider now. He has all the cash. Look at this cash. However, the motto of this game is to take all the money for yourself, so I'm going to destroy him by sneaking into the control room. There's a guy in here. He's on his phone to his girlfriend or whatever, so he's not like paying attention to what we're doing. We're gonna steal the remote control. The story behind this game, it's a killer amusement park. It kills people, so I'm going to now kill it. I now control the boss. I'm going to make it die by running it into a wall over and over again. Goodbye, Cashman Spider. We don't actually fight the boss. We make it fight itself. And that's that. Okay, what stage is next? Killer Man. Killer Man is a murder mystery level, where the central question is, who is Killer Man? See if you can figure it out, chat. I mean, you won't be seeing most of the characters involved because I skipped cutscenes. Dun bum 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 ba dum bum dun dun dun. Sorry, I like this music too much. La, da, da, da. Okay, Killer Man at the Hall of Resentment. I want to show this off, actually. Oh, no, I skipped it, but I didn't want to skip it. I pressed the wrong button. It says the level description is just kill, but spelled with the Japanese character for kill only. Damn it. I tried to speed up the text scroll and skipped it by accident. Stupid. I think it's a cool visual effect. Oh, no one appreciates the video games. They don't appreciate the art. The art! Anyway, the horror monitor's in this room. I need a passcode to open this. I just know the passcode. It's on that dude's shirt, though. The corpse I didn't bother to look at. We go into the movie theater, and there's like a guy dead in the projection booth, and now we're going to go find some stuff to them. Yo, someone's dead, and they kind of don't care very much. I mean, it's Illbleed. This happens all the time. But someone is sneaking around, backstage, dressed as Killer Man, killing people. Killing the staff. So here's all the enemies from previous levels of the game. There's an axe on that guy. We don't need it, because I'm never going to fight anything. Here's a staff member. Maybe he's Killer Man. He's noticing the absence of a Killer Man costume. Oh yeah, the security room. Whatever. Damn, some real Illbleed lore experts in the chat today. Harshing my buzz. Okay, so this is the part where we have to actually do trap dodging. So what pattern am I on today? I tag everything on the right side to identify, because if it's on the back right, that's pattern C.
Cool.
Pattern C. Okay, I know what pattern I'm on.
Cool.
It's the bloodstain. We're going to avoid an enemy encounter here by banking the hard left. Then we're going to go to the toilet. Always trust the toilet. Then I'm going to need to tag a completely nondescript piece of empty air because it's actually the frigging ceiling fan that you cannot see in the slightest. Everything is hell. Then I'm going to walk the middle and try not to get caught by a saw blade. Excellent. Good stuff, good stuff. Bank hard right to avoid fighting an egg here. I do not want to fight an egg. I do not want it. I can't remember. I was going for a Dr. Seuss joke there and screwed it up. Abort. I cancel this joke. Front left UFO. Alright, so here's an example of where tagging a fight is incredibly useful to us, because we're going to tag this fight, which gives us, like, non-enemy aggro advantage, and we're going to leave before Mary even notices us. Bye. And now, with any luck, because this is pattern C, I should just be able to cut a line through the entire rest of the stage without getting hit by anything. Should. Dodge a thing by going left here, then go a little bit right. Hold, okay, hold that. Alright, good luck. I make that look easy, it's not. The line has to be fairly particular. I just dodged like 6 traps in one motion there. We get to the ID card and a shotgun. I bought all these items and I'm not even using them because I'm doing really well. Yeah, we don't need the melee weapon, we only need the shotgun. As a general rule in this game, the guns actually do less damage than melee weapons, but it ends up not mattering because ranged is so good. If a gun is available, use a gun. Right, so now we gotta backtrack all the way back to the security room because everyone's gone missing again. And we're going to meet Jorg S. Baker, the final would-be unlockable character if we were going to save his life, which we're not because he's a needy sod and he takes forever to actually keep alive. So I won't do that, he's going to die. I think Jorg S. Baker is like someone who won a contest or something to appear in this game because he's otherwise very unusually out of step with the rest of the cast in this video game. Hi Jorg. Bye Jorg. That might be apocryphal, please take that with salt. Jorg, not York. With a J. Jumbo Jellyfish has got it, the first one. In order to get the good ending, I need to save all of my, friends. Which I'm not going to do. In theory, I could have had a... Well, actually, I say that. I was about to say, I could have had a donation event of that. No, I couldn't. We don't do donations at Big Bad Game-a-thon. I have, like, marathon brain. I think that tagged it. Okay.
Cool.
Back right pool. Skip this cutscene. Bank hard right here to avoid the stairs because the stairs have a smell scare on them. traps in this stage are very irritatingly thinly spread. So you can walk for a while and not have the EKG up there spike for any reason, and then you can be suddenly surprised by a scare. Because hey, guess what? It's this just nondescript patch of ground.
Cool.
How much time does getting the good ending add? About 5 minutes-ish, something like that. If that. Even in the good ending, we don't save Yorg. Like, in stage. You can spend money to revive party members if you don't find them in the stage itself. It costs a lot of money, though, like a lot of money. It's like, it's a get-out-of-bad-ending jail free card, but you only get to use it, like, once, given how much it costs. So we save the first 3 friends, and then we revive Yorg with cash instead of saving him normally, because saving Yorg normally takes just way too much time. I've timed it. I went to the effort of timing whether or not it was faster to save Yorg and use his money to buy the rest of your party members alive again, or let him die and rescue him with money from the other stages, and it's faster to just let him die. The one guy takes longer to save than 3 characters combined. Believe it or not, that's actually the last trap in the entire rest of the stage, the one I just hit in that room there, because on Pattern C, for some reason, there's just a mysterious absence of traps for the entire rest of the level. I don't know why. There's just none in Pattern C. And that's the seed we happen to be on. So how you doing tonight? Climb that ladder, where it points you immediately right into the hole you just climbed up, so it's very easy to just hold forward and fall straight back down again. Very cool, thank you for that one. I kind of like the lighting effects in this tunnel. The finest capture that, like, composite output can give you. Before anyone tells me, I'm gonna preempt this. People are gonna be like, why don't you use the VGA cable? Why don't you use the VGA cable? Do you know Illbleed is like one of the 3 games that doesn't work with it? There's like a handful of Dreamcast games that don't work with VGA out. This is one of them. Anyway, now we get to give our answer for who is Killer Man. You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say it's me, the player. It's me. That description says, how do I put this? How do I translate that? What did I just read? Compulsion led you to purchase this game. I forget what that got translated to in the English release. I haven't played it in a while. Yeah, so I've voted myself as Killer Man. I'm definitely Killer Man. Okay, so this is the Morgue. It's a giant maze where I walk across catwalks on a sea of bodies. Ordinarily, there would be traps in the Morgue. Pattern C just doesn't have any. I don't know why. That makes this pattern good RNG, to be perfectly clear. But it also means the best run of Illbleed is the one where the least amount of Illbleed happens. There's just nothing here. And for some reason in the Japanese version is just absent of music in this area. It's added in the English version, but in the Japanese version, this area just doesn't have music. What happens if you vote differently? Nothing. The choice of who I voted for is irrelevant. The only way it matters is if you actually save Yorg and guessed correctly. Your options for Killer Man are to vote 2 of the park workers, the player, Yorg, and vote Killer Man as being Killer Man. Like, just Killer Man. Killer Man is Killer Man. Please argue amongst yourselves about which option is correct. If you know, do not spoil it. I suppose you can if you want. I mean, we're not going to see the correct answer. Let them argue for at least a little bit, okay? Which one is correct? Vote now on your phones. Chat was Killer Man. Chat was definitely Killer Man, dude. See, at least on other patterns I wouldn't be forced to attempt to kill for dead air so much, because there'd be, like, traps, but I got the one pattern where there's just nothing in the room. This maze is so big, and this is why saving Jorg takes so long. Because he's, like, hidden in a really awkward corner of this giant maze. I thought something was wrong with my copy when I first played this, actually, for the complete absence of music. But it turns out the music is just missing from the Japanese version. Would you be able to get the true ending if you rescue someone and kill them off in a stage? No. You have to let them die in stage. I tried that. Because that would let you skip waiting 25 minutes to let Kevin die. It does not work. Oh yeah, we're walking past like a flat texture, which is actually supposed to represent like a sea of corpses right now. It is totally flat. It is a flat texture, which amuses me greatly. It is, however, a bit gross looking. Right, anyway, we're reaching the end of the stage here, so I will now tell you the grand answer. The Killer Man, the correct answer of who Killer Man is Killer Man. Killer Man is Killer Man. So unless you guessed Killer Man is Killer Man and you save Jorg, it makes no difference to how the ending plays out. If you get it correctly, you win $1 million. Which at this point in the game is actually not very useful to you because at this point you have like basically $1 million already anyway, and items in this game don't cost that much. It's nice to have for upgrades, I guess. Anyway, now we're going to fight Killer Man, who, as we have established, is Killer Man, and is not anyone else other than Killer Man. Alright, so I want to approach him, and I want to dodge around his little burst move. Oh no, he's doing this move, he's doing this move, he's doing the nothing personal. I'm way too close. Yes, okay. That's his, like, get off me move. He'll do that when he wants you to get off him. So you have to space it properly. You want to be on just the outside here, so... Spacing, dodge backwards. Getting that like that. Okay, so I'm just about close enough that he's going to keep doing it, but he won't... it won't hit me. I'll be able to dodge just in time. Okay, this works too. Okay, the loop. The loop? He escaped the loop! Whee! He escaped the loop! No, I'm too close. The spacing. Okay, like, this isn't going too badly, but the spacing isn't quite right. There we go, there's the spacing. Oh yes, pattern. Get him in the pattern. Get him the loop. I don't care. Spawn wherever, I'm gonna shoot you to death. He shrugs and he dies, and that's it. No bonus prize, because we didn't get it right. We didn't find out who was Killer Man. It wasn't me. I wasn't Killer Man. You thought it was me? People in chat were like, oh, I'm Killer Man. Well, I wasn't Killer Man. I've never killed anyone. Alright, let's buy more items. Yeah, unfortunately, Killer Man is a boss, so I don't need a counter hit. The bosses, in that regard, the bosses are actually easier to kill than regular enemies, because at least they die on schedule. Alright, now we're going to the stage Toy Hunter. This stage has the gimmick where the traps are now vehicles to deliver cutscenes to us. Very long and unskippable cutscenes, unless you tag them with the horror monitor, so I'm going to do that. I'll try and explain the story of Toy Hunter as I go, though. I'm going to pick up the horror monitor, I'm going to pick up the gun, which is the only weapon you get in this level. Now I need a ticket. This guy attacks us instead of giving us a ticket. He just, what? He just flying leaped over my head. Bro, get off my helipad. Okay, I have a Toy Hunter ticket. grant myself entrance to Toy Hunter. And then... we're Woody from Toy Story now. That's the Jork. It is now giving us a mini tutorial on how to distinguish story traps from regular traps, but for our purposes that does not matter. Because I'm going to explain the story quickly anyway. We are Cork. And we live a happy life as a toy with our sexy doll, which is that giant, like, ass doll over there you see. I'm not going to talk to sexy doll, that takes too long. I assure you, we like our sexy doll very much. But then, our child suffers a horrible illness and dies, and is buried with Sexy Doll. This sends Sexy Doll to Toy Hell, because that is where toys go when they are buried with a dead child. Also, there are boobs there. I don't know why, there's just boobs there. This is the child being buried with Sexy Doll, and Cork being all like, no, my Sexy Doll is gone, me, etc, etc. So, Cork falls into an angsty sort of depressive state, and now I have to actually concentrate on the traps. These are all fixed so far. These are all story traps. I've explained to you the gist of what's going on. Now I have to actually pay attention to figure out what pattern I'm on. It's the ceiling, and it's always these aren't marked, which annoys the hell out of me. Okay, so it's not pattern C at the very least. This is guaranteed because it's not pattern C, so it's either pattern B or pattern pattern A. That's B. Okay, pattern B. Oh, I hate pattern B, though. Do I hate pattern B, actually? No, I rather don't think I do. Maybe, we'll see. So, we're going to the graveyard where our child has been buried. Because we're sad and having a moment and what have you. Can I tag the trap, maybe? I would appreciate it. I'm just gonna get hit the second I walk forward, and I'm gonna be very annoyed about it. Okay, that works. Yep! Tag this fight so I don't get caught by monkeys. We never saw the monkeys so far, actually. Here are the monkeys. They're annoying. They're fast. And there's very little I can do to avoid them. My strategy for the monkeys is I don't have one. I just eat the hit and hope I can escape quickly. Okay. Pattern B is actually good. Okay, so here is where Sonic the Hedgehog would normally show up to taunt us about the fact that he is with our sexy doll in Toy Hell. But we are not going... That is also not a joke, by the way. That is completely serious. Sonic the Hedgehog is in this game, and he is a boss character. Anyway, so now Cork is very depressed. So we're going to go to the city and go drinking. Yep. But first I'm going to need to do some dodging stuff. I never remember which fight is which. There's like two positions it can be in. It moves. And getting it right is important because it means I can escape before they try and shoot me in the head. Later. I don't trust this hitbox. I probably should, but I don't. Where am I walking? Okay, I skipped a fight there by taking that line. Yep. It changes... It moves depending on which pattern you're on, so I have to think about that very hard. Anyway, we're now at the egg bar. Please post egg emojis in chat. Thank you. Yep. Yep. So I'm gonna skip this cutscene by just going around it, but we murder some eggs in a bar because we're so upset, and then they make fun of us, and we get in a bar brawl and we kill them. We are now arrested and are going to Toy Jail, also known as Alcatoys. What's my pattern here? First, second, 10, 11. Yep. First, second, 10, 11. Yep. We are convicted of egg murder. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. tagged one of those wrong. It's that one, isn't it? There we go. Okay, no problem. Yep. There are remarkably few traps in the stage past this point. Okay, we are now being judged, and we are in this cutscene, which I'm about to skip, which I can only do from this angle. If you try and do it from here, it doesn't work. If I sound annoyed about this, it's because I am. We are sentenced to death because we murdered someone. We get the death penalty. We're going to be executed. By hanging specifically. That's relevant. Keep it in mind. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we are now currently on death row, awaiting our sentence. Yep. Well, awaiting our death. But we meet this guy, Pododon. He needs fuel, so we're gonna go get that for him. And he says that, you know, if we die, we can go to Toy Hell, and we can reunite with Sexy Doll. So Cork's like, okay, I'll just go die then. I'm about to be executed anyway. This works out great. But then, at the last minute, before he is executed, Pododon realizes that he's gotten it wrong. And he's like, no, if you die, you'll just go to regular hell. You need to be buried with a dead kid in order to go to Toy Hell. If you just die, you go to regular hell. That's no good. And he's like, where are we going to find a regular kid? So we go to town. And then we find a regular kid to kill. Yes, regular hell. I didn't write the game. I'm just explaining it. Regular hell and toy hell are different. It's like dog heaven. Have you ever seen All Dogs Go to Heaven? There isn't, like, is there a dog heaven? I haven't seen that movie in a while myself, actually. Right, so this is the relevance of this. We have to skip those previous 2 executions and go to the hanging, because that's the one we were sentenced by. The others are traps that will harm you for real. You have the Eriko Christie doll? I'm jealous. Those are rare and expensive. The last trap is here. Okay. Yep. So am I dead now? Nah. I skipped dying. I'm alive. Yeah, currently we're gonna go to the city and find a child to kill. We are about to receive Pododon's memory. I think I'm saying that correctly. Potodon. Yeah. We're gonna find a child to kill. This is your only hint for figuring that out. To Santa Claus, the toy which needs me is the doll of Toy Hunter. My house is the 2nd floor of the apartment. Without making a mistake, Jeremy. Inda. That's the only clue you get. We're gonna avoid a fight here by ducking around like this corner here, but also, recently, Ghost and so on increase in this town. As for the children, to be careful. Anyway, the child's in this window. We found a child to kill. So we give Pododon his memory chip back, and he kills the child for us by firing at it with a laser gun. There is now blood on our hands. There, dead kid. We get buried with the kid because we are his favorite toy, even though we just killed him. Toy Hell! We made it to Toy Hell. Now we can reunite with our sexy doll. So we must leap into the giant fiery tornado in order to do this. However, Sexy Doll is being held hostage by Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, sorry, Zodig. I got 2 rings for the price of 1 there. That is a dynamite opening to that fight. So you shoot him, the rings fall out of him. You gotta shoot the rings 4 times each. He's invincible when he spin dashes, which is super annoying and rude that he can just opt to not play the game. He's doing it a lot, too. Yeah, this game was approved by Sega, and Sega actually holds the copyright to Illbleed. I would appreciate it if you could pick a target. Unfortunately, I don't have a melee weapon, which means I have to rely on the auto-aim for this. Again, the sound effects will dip in and out. That is not a problem with the stream audio. The game just does that depending on distance from the camera. Ah, one more hit would have done it, dude. There you go. He's dead. Sonic malfunctions without his rings. He's donezo. Indiana Jones fighting male pattern baldness Sonic. That's the joke! I don't know. But the resemblance is intentional. This game actually has no age rating in Japan. Right, that was the last stage. We can go to the final boss now. In fact, we actually get a choice of final bosses. 2 of the final bosses are impossible and bad. I'm going to pick the one that isn't. I'm only going to get the machine gun. How do you beat the impossible? By having, like, more upgraded character than I do. Bear in mind, my Eriko is still at, like, 100% base stats. I haven't picked up any... Did I trigger the cutscene at all? I think I might have just walked past it. No, I didn't. I'm very smart. Trigger the cutscene and pick the Dollar Chura. Which is actually the cash spider from the very start of the end of Killer Department Store. I'm going to shoot it to death now. You say Sega had nothing to do with this game, but the title screen has copyright of Sega on it. So I contest that. Dude, I got all of them in one go. That was mint. I gotta kill the little guy so he comes down from the ceiling so I can continue to shoot him. I want to put some distance between myself so I can get stuns off on him. When he jumps around, I shoot him. Avoid his little shadow, so if you get too close to his shadow, he'll like dump acid on your head. And that actually does quite a lot of damage, and you can't heal during boss fights, so... Don't get owned, bro. Oh, I'm doing a lot of damage. I'm doing a lot of damage. Huge damage! Oh, that was really good. No, he's on the ceiling. Why are you like this? Let me get this last guy. There's the acid. I need to put more... Nah, I couldn't get much distance there. Oh, big damage. Oh, you rotter! He's on the ceiling with no health. I'm gonna end it with one punch. One punch! Got him. And that is time! Smashing.
Yes. Excellent. Fantastic. I haven't had this much excitement in a long time.
Underestimate, technically.
Very well then.
Excellent.
I shall present you with $100 million.
$100 million.
And the fanfare is the Michael Reynolds Orchestra.
You gotta see the orchestra, guys. Don't you love it? $100 million dispensed in $1 bills.
Here, I present you $100 million.
Orchestra.gif. Extremely.
All right, nice meeting. Hope to see you again someday. Congratulations. Good luck. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's it. That's the game. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Illbleed. I have been Punchy, except I'm still going to be Punchy because I'm also the next run. I'll be doing Resident Evil Gun Survivor. I'm going to disappear under my desk to plug in my PS2, but throw it close to a setup thing. Remember me! I'm under the desk.